YouTube. So today I'm working on a Massey Ferguson 4243. It's got four-wheel drive, it's got Perkins engine, no cab, and it's got the manual shuttle, 12-speed forward and reverse. So let me show you what I got going on. Alright, so this is the gauge cluster here, and the issue I'm having is the as you're running the machine, the gauges are kind of coming on and off, and indication lights are coming on and off. Tach works and the temperature gauge works, but it doesn't tell you what range you're in, and sometimes there's a warning beep, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what I found was, first thing I did was take these screws out, and I took this off. I had it connected to the wire harness in here, which goes down into this part of the main engine harness right here. And while that was plugged in, I just kind of wiggled it like that, and lights would come on, lights would come off. So I'm going to start taking this apart, show you what we got to do to fix that wiring harness. I'm going to try to get it out to cut the wires and replace it. This is a discontinued item, so we have to do it manually. Alright, so I'm not much of a big equipment or tractor mechanic, but I'm just kind of going at it. I'm going to just show you what I got to do to take this apart, and some of the stuff might not be in order, but I'm going to attempt this the best I can. So bear with me. All right, so after taking the cluster out, the next thing I'm going to do is try to get this black cover off. There's a couple bolts. You can see one is right there. There's another one right there. Then I've got some screws, 4, and some of the wire harness attaches here and over here, and I'm going to see about if I need to pull this lever and what I got to do about the wiring that comes up through this steering column here. Alrighty, so I got the 4 bolts there undone, as well as the top 2, and I've also taken this top shield off the steering column and the bottom one. The bottom one has 4 screws, and the top one has 2 screws. I also disconnected the key switch. There's just a washer here, or a nut, and you just use a screwdriver and hammer it off. I got my switches here, leaving them connected on for now. I've got this the directionals disconnected on the back side here. Just gotta push in that and pull it off. On this side, you got 3. They all look the same. The top one is green, the middle one is blue, the bottom one is gray, or black, sorry. So that one pops off like the rest. Alright, so this thing's pretty much loose. I don't think I need to take it off right now, and we'll go to the next thing. Alright, so the next thing I'm doing here is I'm removing the screws. There's 4 of them. They kind of look funny. I'm removing this side panel here, and I've got a couple more bolts down here, and they're split in half, so this side should come off this way. I've got a lot of my wiring kind of disconnected. I think I should have just did this first, just to make it a little easier. Trying to get that shifter out, I think it's going to be more work than it's worth, and same with the steering wheel. I could probably get the steering wheel off, but I'm just going to leave it on there for now. I've got everything disconnected off this, and I had to disconnect this off the main wiring harness, cut a zip tie for the flasher, and this pops right off that bracket right there, so that's loose. Pretty much everything's loose except the one. There's one tie down in here that they just pop off. I just gotta, once I get this removed, that'll be a little easier. So I got the top panel off. There's just 2 bolts up front and 2 on the sides, and it lifted right off. Luckily the exhaust on this tractor is going down, so I didn't have to worry about the exhaust being in the way. And I can get at the final 2 bolts right here. So I've got the panels off here. This is the wire here I need to repair inside. We got a wire that goes down. We got this fuse block here. I'm gonna have to take this lower panel off. There's, I think, 2 more bolts on the other side as well, so 4. The main harness here. You got 2 connectors to unplug. You got this cable here, which is just a ground onto the block, and there's last cable here that comes down in front and goes into the starter. So that's gonna have to come off as well. So I'm going to take these panels off and see what's in there. I got this panel off here, and we got some connectors, which is nice, but of course there's always one wire that's got to keep going and going and going. So I'm gonna have to track that down and see where that goes. But luckily there's 4, one in the back there. There's 4 connectors that go up that will disconnect off the rest of the tractor that will come with this harness. So that wire here, I'm probably just gonna cut it up by these other connectors and make my own connector for it, because this thing just keeps going on into Never Never Land behind the fuel tank. And so I'm gonna go on the other side here. I'm gonna disconnect the battery first before I get into this little section here. There's one clip here that holds that down, 13 millimeter. Most of the things are 13 or 10, and then there's a zip tie here that holds everything, so I gotta cut that, and then I'll start disconnecting. Probably take the ground off as well while I'm here. So once you get your wires disconnected down here, there's one more clip here. You can poke your grommet. I actually poked it out this way and then folded it in and pushed it through this hole. That way you can get all this big stuff out here. A lot easier going that way than the other way. All right, so to much my surprise, I was able to get it through that hole up there. I got it up and around, and yeah, I had to bend it a little bit, but I didn't break anything, and I never really had to tug too hard. So that's the harness. It's the whole harness right there for the engine. So now I got to tear it apart, and this is the one I want to fix here. It seems when you wiggle it down in here, like this, it starts shorting out, so I've got to really be careful and tear into this. So that's my next project. That's it for taking it out. The only other thing is that one wire in the bottom. I've got to add a terminal of some sort to that, and that'll be that. Alright, thanks for watching. That's just how to take the wiring harness out. I'll try to make a video about what I gotta do to this harness and actually repairing it. That's gonna take some figuring out first before I make the video. So I've done my Chevy truck before, so I think I can do something like this. I should be able to figure it out. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.